Hey there, travel beauty chasers, and welcome back to Chasing Travel Beauty with Stephanie. So, here we are, day 9. We've made it to day 9. How much longer will we make it? We're going to make it all the way. Anyway, day 9, and I thought, okay, so the last 2 days we talked about Rovine and we talked about Pula. And before that, we talked about Kotor and my rooftops of Rome. All of these locations I went to because they were a part of my cruise experience. So today, we are going to talk about cruise life. Are you about that life? Are you about that cruise life? Well, let me just tell you, I was not a big fan of cruising, right? Explora Journeys has literally changed my perspective about cruising. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So I'm curious how you feel about cruising. Have you been on a cruise? Have you been thinking about trying a cruise? Well, for me, I took my first cruise, wow, at least 2 decades ago, okay? And this was to the Caribbean, and we went to the ABC Islands. So we went to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia. It was amazing. Amazing in the sense that every location, once we got there, was great. The ship, it was just okay. It was a small-ish ship, and it was sort of like, well, it's transportation. It's getting me there safely. It wasn't so important about, the amenities that were on the ship. It's okay. So I had that one experience and literally didn't cruise for a long time after that. The next one was when I went to Greece. And this was maybe somewhere between 15 to 18 years ago, my first time going to Greece. And so in order to go to the Greek islands, it required being on a ship. So we were in Athens for the first few days, and then we got on to the cruise that took us to all of the different islands. And so again, you're going to Santorini, Mykonos, the ones everyone knows. We went to Rhodes, we went to Ephesus, Kusadasi, we went to Crete. What else? Thessalonica. So we did so many Greek islands, and again, it was okay. Ship was just all right. Like, I don't know what all the hoopla is about. It was efficient as a way to get me from location to location to location. And once I got off the ship and saw these amazing locales, spectacular. The cruising part, I'm like, well, it's just the only way I can get there, so I have to do what I have to do. Then a few years ago, I went to Egypt, and in order to, you go to Aswan and you go see all these different temples, you cruise the Nile. So the tour I was on said like this was the, luxury high-end cruise line for, these are really small boats too, along the Nile. And again, it was clean. It was nice. It was okay. It was functional. It was transportation. And this was my view of cruising. It's about transportation. And then in 2004, I was watching a PBS special, and they were talking about, this new cruise line that had just come out, and this grand vision that they had around sustainability, and, it was going to be a luxury cruise line, and, even the base level, entry level, it was all suite cruise line, and even the base level, everything has a balcony. And I thought, wow, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give cruising a try. Another try. And in November of 24, I booked a cruise with them. And I went on this cruise and I was wowed. It took me from thinking about cruising as, functional transportation to an experience. Like, it elevated the entire travel experience. And you guys know I've said on probably every video, like I'm really big on experiences. And this took my travel experience to the next level. It wasn't just about the cruise, you know, the ship itself being so beautiful, but it was just, you know, it was the level of service. It was the people greeting me by name. It was the every detail being managed. It was, you know, all of the different restaurants and it being the highest level of food preparation and delivery of service in an eating environment that you could, you know, want to experience. It just wowed me and exceeded my expectations in all ways. So I've been on 2 trips with them. This last that you guys saw of what I'm posting now is from that cruise and the different places that I was able to go with them. So I have 2 cruises booked with them for 2026. And I'm trying to get one more in there. I just need that price points to come down. So I'm waiting. I've been watching and waiting for the best sale. Usually their best sale is the Black Friday sale. And even when they had the Black Friday sale, the price point was higher than the price point I would have paid. So I'm still like hoping and praying. You know, I think of it this way. I'm like, okay, Lord, you said that you wanted me to have life and to have it more abundantly. Well, I want to be able to go to Iceland and Greenland with Explora Journeys. So I'm putting it out there. If anybody knows how to get me a great rate, I'm putting it out there. I'm calling it forward. So let's see what happens. But I have 2 booked with them this year so far. And so when I think about cruising, it's like, as a result of this experience that I've had with Explora Journeys, it helped me to see, you know, some of the key benefits to cruising. So, you know, I've done lots of tours where, you know, if we're going to go see multiple places, you know, multiple places within that one visit, for example, when I went to Sicily, you know, it's like every 2 or 3 days, you know, you're packing up your suitcase to be able to go to the next spot. So, you know, the first time I went to Sicily and, you know, I landed in Catania and we literally traveled the full perimeter of Sicily. So we ended up in Palermo and then we went to Cefalù and we went to Ragusa and we went to, what's the other, Modica. And so all these places. And literally every time you're going to a different area, you know, you're spending a couple of nights in one place and then you're packing to go to the next place. The beauty of being on a ship is you pack once, you unpack once, and then you go to bed and you wake up in a new place every day. And then, you know, on other cruises, when it's an at shore day, you're like, oh, we're quote unquote, we're stuck on the ship. And in this case, being on the ship, you're able to just explore all the beautiful things, be it the spa, the gym, and they have all of these quiet places. So you get into this rhythm of being on there. You're no longer rushed to go from place to place to place. You get into this rhythm where you can find a private space. You can have silence if you want it. You can sit out on your own balcony with your feet up and just watch the water and the islands and the different places go by. It is truly, I feel like, a great experience. And so I would like to encourage people, go back. Now, of course, with all the benefits, there's always some downside. For me, the biggest downside about cruising is that, you know, you don't get to go deep in a place, right? There's limited time. You're on someone else's schedule. You're at port. You better get off and you better get back on time because guess what? They will leave you. So you are on a fixed time schedule. You can't just linger for as long as you would like to, and you can't get deep and, you know, maybe spend time with the locals as you would like to. But as we, you know, walk in instead of being in a scarcity mentality, if we walk in that idea of abundance, just like, okay, you know what? The same way I said about Ravine in, you know, I think it was day 7 video, I said, okay, for Ravine, what I found is this is a place I must visit again. So what it's going to do is it gives me that opportunity to write something else on my travel to-do list. You must go back to Ravine. And so now I have a list of places that I know if I want to go for rest, relaxation, restoration, I know the place to go. So being on the cruise gives you this exposure to different locations. And then you get to pick, where do I want to spend more time in? Maybe where do I want to spend less time? And so for me, I say cruising. I can see how people, I've seen YouTube video titles of, this is my 50th cruise. And I used to think, who are these people? Why do they keep jumping on boats to see the world? And now I think I get it. Now, not all cruise lines are made the same. And again, I'm not looking for a cruise that just gives me transportation. I'm looking for a cruise that can give me a true experience. So I'm curious, what about you? Put it in the comments. Let me know, what cruise lines have you been on? Which ones would you recommend? I want to start experiencing more. So now Explora Journeys is my comfort zone, but there may be other great cruise lines out there. I want to hear what you have to say. Please put it in the comments and let me know. So I'm going to, on the tail end of this, show you guys why I love Explora Journeys. And in fact, I did an overall review of the cruise my first time. This last time I just, captured some, just random video, but feel free to go, I'll maybe try to connect it to this video so you can see what makes Explora Journey so special, but I want to hear from you. Well, friends, we have reached the end of our time together today, but there's no need for sorrow because I'll be seeing you tomorrow. But until then, keep chasing travel beauty wherever your journeys may take you. Don't hang up. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and watch this video of Explora Journeys and see all the reasons why I love it so much.